Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West Show. Jack Chow on the East-West with lots of pride. With GNE TV, we pay attention to all aspects of life. The past year has already reaching to an end. Within a day or two, we're starting a new year, a brand new year, 2018. So to look back retrospectively, the year of 2017, I call it a year of extreme left. I wonder if I'm using too big a word or too strong a word, but the extreme left is really something very dangerous to both the country, the state, and to each and every individual. Today, joining me in the discussion of stopping extreme left is my friend, Dr. Jason Wen of Orange County, right?
Yes,
Orange County.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Jason Wen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jack. Firstly, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone.
All right, good. Every time, if you recall, when I have a kind of a head scratch, right, that spins my head like a top, I always go to you. I always go to ask you, my friend, Dr. Jason Wen, find the answer. I know that I will probably not find the answer. I'm talking about to discuss about it, right? So, to give a definition to the past year, though, my way of looking at it, it was a year of extreme left. And that may include the year 2016, and it goes on a little bit. So for the past 2 and 3 years, the word left and extreme left really bothers us. Anything of your take, please?
Actually, I think you're right. For the 2016 and before, we also experienced in the U.S. Really reminded me something going on in my own experience in China. Seems like people always say something in the public one way, that the exact words may not be used for their own life. Basically, got a kind of a pressure or circumstances, conditions in the society. Nobody can see the really true, express their true meaning, their true, word. Basically, they try to hide something. Seems like in public, everybody push left, more slogan, more political correct. Seems like a more safe way to say it for the politician, for everybody.
Yes, you're right. You are extremely right by looking back into China to show people what a disaster that extreme left can lead to. We'll push that to later segments, but right now we want to look into United States, see how far have we gone to the extreme left, right? So I have lots of examples, right? Starting from the time when same-sex marriage were legalized, right? Do you think that could be taken as a time mark or a benchmark for the extreme left to go even further extreme?
Actually, I think it's a lot of, like you said, a lot of this event is a result of those things or push also forward. Actually, one of my, this topic, when we discuss this topic, first thing I'm thinking is like election last year. All the media, I was watching the TV and that night in the November 2nd, first Tuesday. Why so many media, everything's so off from the final result? As you know, the election, typically people, they have a media interview the people after the vote. They're based on a lot of those data. I have to question myself, does everybody tell the truth about who they vote? my guess is probably a lot of people think they're not want to say who they really vote for. They maybe hide something. That's why make the media really off.
Exactly.
Really surprised me.
If you really want to go find the root, though, I would say the extreme left symptom started as early as 2008, right? When it came to general election for President Obama to win. Now, at that very time, very time, I believe the Americans were not psychologically ready to accept a black president. And yet, time has pushed them to a point that they must take one. Now, as a result, you see people do something, say something different. Or vice versa, say something and do something different from. Am I right?
Yeah, actually, I think, we have lived here for so long. One thing I really appreciate this society, look around, look at my kids. One big difference between East and West, at least from a China experience, here people tell more truth.
Mm-hmm.
They can say something at home, also say the same thing in the public life. But now, become less and less true. But as you know, in China,
you're right.
Typically,
exactly.
When they say something to public, even any level of government officers, they don't say exactly the same thing to their kids.
Yeah.
Basically, they want to be in front of the public, everything.
Yes.
Slogan.
Exactly. The problem is that even though we are known as a society whereby people have the freedom of saying whatever they want, because we all apply to our constitutional freedom, constitutional right to be freely expressing ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Fact is that you are bearing the symptom of the extreme left that you dare not say what you want to say. I give you an example, right? Now, Dr. Wen and Jack Chow all wear eyeglasses, right? Okay, now, we do not want anything in particular. We do not want to be treated anything more especially than the rest of the folks. We're just an individual, like you, like whoever, everybody. Now, you know what this most extreme left do? They create laws. The law says everybody wearing eyeglasses shall deserve the right as if anybody else, as if they are not wearing eyeglasses. So, do you not agree to this law? Do you dare not to say, I disagree?
Yeah, you just can't.
You can't,
yeah.
Right? Because once you do, you are discriminating Dr. Wen and Jack Chow because they both are wearing eyeglasses.
That's a very good example.
And yet, you're supporting it because you have to support it. You have no other ways to go. Your supporting it makes the law, which makes no sense at all, even stronger than it's supposed to be. Am I right?
Yeah, actually, I think we have a lot of this like example in the real life.
Yeah.
For example, very basic thing, like heard of Airbnb, right? People rent a cheaper, individual home for their traveling. I think everybody want to use it, right? That's more economic, more comfortable, more fit their budget better.
Yeah.
But if as a government or in the society, they want to have to ban these things. Kind of surprised. People sitting there want to ban these things, put more regulations. They use it in their own life. You think about it, this is not like a same standard, basically. Basically, they're the same thing. When they say something, I can rather say the left is safer for them to say, rather than real word they want to say.
Exactly.
It's more safer push to the left.
You made people say the thing you want to say. That's it. And then your call of making people to say the thing you want to say is unchallengeable. Anybody who challenges it goes to jail because you're discriminating people, right? So now with me today is my good friend, Dr. Jason Wan. Even though Dr. Jason Wan is a specialist in water and water quality, and I believe that for social science, for the social science we're talking about, nobody is not an expert. Everybody is, because we are in it. It is our own life we're talking about, right?
Yes.
So I don't want anybody treating me specially because I wear a piece of ice glasses. I don't want anybody to deprive my equal right from me because I'm wearing eyeglasses, right? Same thing. Okay. Now, let's take a very short moment out. When we come back, we'll find more. There are so many of them telling us we are going more and more and more towards the extreme left until someday we're going to copy China like the Cultural Revolution, all right? Good. Which later on we'll pick. Stay with us. Hello, lovely friends, my dear audiences. Welcome back to the East-West Show. Jack Chow on the East-West with the G&E TV. Today, to wrap around the year for another one, we want to touch the subject that nobody wants to touch. I dare to, because I have friends. That's the extreme left. It looks that we are going on to the route of being extreme left, and more and more and more so. That makes us in a very horrible start that leads to a very dangerous way. Because the moment you dare not to speak because of the extremely political right thing, the moment you are getting deprived from your constitutional freedom. Constitutional right of freedom is the thing that stays with you forever. Nobody can take it. Now you're being taken away some of the rights. So with me is my good friend, Dr. Jason Wan, a water specialist, though. He, I believe, has the right to say something about our life because it's our social life, we're in it, right? So back to the point. You're talking about Air 101, or I'm talking about the laws they're trying to make. So they are pushing us to a corner. Either you say agree or you don't care. You can't say no, because the moment you say no, you're in trouble. You're discriminating people. Okay, now, for example, as a result of the Black life whatsoever, there's a call of Black Lives Matter. Does that mean white life doesn't matter? So there goes another one. They dare not say, no, you're not supposed to do so. As a matter of fact, it's a sober-minded politician will stand out and point out, okay, now, nobody is going to say that, okay? Because everybody's life is so important, equally important. You single out the Black life doesn't make that much sense. And on the other hand, you're saying that other life not important. Sure enough, next day it goes white life matters too. And then how about yellow life? How about green life? How about it goes on and on and on and on and on. So that is very dangerous. I know at your job you don't discuss this, but back home you face this, right?
Exactly. Actually, when you bring that issue up, I'm a little bit nervous because every time you heard this kind of words, black, white, all this sex, all this discrimination, people naturally feel a little bit nervous. Actually, I really surprised, how far we already get. For example, when the government hires some people, you look at the application form, You cannot put your birth date.
Yeah.
There's no place to put. Sometimes you cannot put your sex, your marriage status. Politically, that is all correct. Say, hey, you hire this guy is only because of his qualification, not for other kind of things.
Yes, good
but
example.
Again, I
good
think
example.
it's a little bit weird because you perform any job.
Why am I hiring? Because I want the best, right?
Yeah.
Without knowing your age, without knowing your birth, without knowing your marriage status, without knowing even the male, your gender, whatever, how am I supposed to make a decision? So this whole thing. Okay, now look at the paper. The paper is politically right.
Yeah.
Because on the paper, as long as if you're not a dog, excuse me, you can fill in because everybody is equal. As a matter of fact, I'm not only hiring somebody who is not a dog, right? I have more prerequisites. I have more condition, requirement to be met. Okay, now on the paper, it is politically right. Practically, it's totally wrong, man.
Yeah. I think I look at the private sector, if a small company, they don't say this kind of word, but they hire some people they want. But again, I think there's a whole culture, condition now. It's really make you like see. You see what's happening, basically.
And somebody is trying to take advantage of the situation. For example, the marriage, the wedding cake story, right? The wedding cake story. They made a sample case of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Okay, now my question. Okay, now once again, I have a disclaimer to make. All right, whatever I say represents myself. It is my nothing. It is nothing but my own, Jack Zhao's own personal opinion. It doesn't represent the show, neither does it to the organization. It is a natural male named Jack Zhao made his own opinion, okay, as following. The couple wanting the wedding cake, right, made, right? So they are refused, right? Now, number one, if you go to Home Depot, you check the signs. There's one sign says, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone.
Yeah.
You go buy one,
yeah.
$2.99, depending on size.
Yeah, also
maybe
restaurant,
bigger.
yeah.
By law, everybody shall reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. Why? Because I don't like you. That's simple. Am I right? Am I right? Right. Now, this is the 50% of the problem. The other 50% of the problem, if this shop, this bakery does not take the order, can they try another one? Can they try another one until they found one who do offer the service? Now, why they insisted? They want to make an issue. They wanted to make an issue, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think one thing I want to see a balanced view is like U.S. There's one thing is good because one incident, one example like you had, there's a reflect some kind of a social issue. Somebody may take that issue to do something, make a regulation, make a standard, make a guideline. There's a good side of that. But again, I think our real life need a balance. You cannot push it too far.
Good.
I think
yes.
Make some issue benefit the whole society, harmony and the social services, social justice is good. But it cannot be too extreme to the point you have to play two faces.
Yeah.
I think anytime you play two faces, something is not right.
Okay, good. Very good point. That's a very philosophical and sober-minded point, right? Now, give you a good example of the ADA laws, American Disability Act, right? The ADA laws. According to ADA laws, your door knob should not be a knob, should be a pull-up leveler.
Yeah, level. Yeah.
Leveler, you push it down or up, the door opens. Because sometimes people are unable to twist
Exactly.
like you and I do. Makes sense. Makes super sense. Okay, now let's change all the public doors to levelers. Now, the leveler supposed to be certain
Height, yeah.
feet and an inch above ground, not an inch taller, not an inch lower. And for that, the business owners gets punished. How punish? How to punish? Per founding, per discovery, $4,000. If this morning I see a lawyer, and I give the lawyer $4,000, the lawyer says, okay, walk away. Next morning, another one, another 40, another 4,000. Okay, now, as to the door leveler, nobody cares if the problem is fixed or not. So, why they make laws like that, right? What the law is pointing at, directions. Really to the benefit of disabled folks? No. They are making benefit of it, if not making a point of it.
Yeah, I think we can have quite many examples in the real life. Sometimes I call it's no common sense. No. I think our life is really should be common sense. That's why I think if you don't like Donald Trump, but he does have a business mind, does have a real life, real practical practical way to do the business. He's less doing the political correct. In public life, you got to do something. But again, that's why I think he got elected, Yes.
Honestly, I didn't vote for Donald Trump.
I did, by the way.
I didn't.
But I didn't tell anybody.
I didn't.
Know.
I didn't. I didn't vote anybody. I didn't vote neither. I just flip off the page, I let it go. Whoever be my president, go ahead. Or like that kind. However, the moment he declared victory, I respect. Why respect? I respect the name of Constitution. Sure. By Constitution, Donald Trump, is the officially vested United States president.
Elected, yeah.
Like that, elected, right? So unless otherwise something happens, right? People don't do that. People say, okay, I didn't vote him. Okay, whatever he says, I don't agree.
That's okay. You don't agree, but again.
Now, but they go otherwise. Whatever he says, I go against. I oppose it. Now, with a tax cut, right? With tax cut, I wonder if those people who go against the Trump so much, though, would put the check in the envelope and mail it back to our ass. I don't want it.
Actually, I look at the network news, and I don't watch that much. But again, I look at the comment on this tax cut, or this just passed, tax cut. I think the media, public does not have much of a time to digest the detail of the whole thing. The media can cite anything they want. For example, 79% of people, middle-income people, will not get a cut. But if you look at how about 80%? How about 50%? There's a totally different picture. But they don't use the other data. People you can look at it very clearly. There's a bracket on a certain pay range.
I will bet. I will bet. Almost 99.99% people will just take the check, cash the check, and use it.
Yeah, they will.
And there is a 0.011 or 001 where you just put it in an envelope, say, hey, go back to our ass. I don't want it, right? Now, that means your support. That means you benefit from that, which is a fact they don't recognize. All right, my dear friends, we're going too far on the left. We call extreme left, which does no good to this nation. If we want to survive, we must do something to slow down, to stop it, to change it. Stay with us. We'll be right back, please. Hello, lovely friends. Welcome back to the show. My dear audiences, I love you so much. That's why me and my team working so hard every time, every moment we can, when politically we're not fighting a big war, internationally we're not waging a war, or domestically, we're not talking about huge budget lapses. We always talk about some conceptual issues. Conceptually, this whole nation is going too far on the left. That's why we call it extreme left. The extreme, the leftists or leftness is doing this nation no good. Joining me in the discussion is a good friend of mine, Dr. Jason Wen, who, like-minded like myself, sense the danger, smell the danger of the future. We want to be responsible for our next generation, to our posterity, that we did not take it easy for let it go. We want to discuss it. So, we probably can take a whole day showing those examples. They go one after another. Okay, now, the third bathroom on school camps. Can you tell me if anybody in history who dies from the fact that there was not a third bathroom?
Yeah, that's another thing. I just want to say, how many of us think about one thing at home or speak out in the public in the same way? Clearly, people are going to afraid to talk about that in front of the public. Mm-hmm. I think about it. We are not social scientists, but again, something is not right in this culture. It is that you do not tell the truth. Mm-hmm. You do not say what you really think in your heart. Something is not right.
Yes.
Something is not right.
Yes.
Actually, just one point, one observation. Mm-hmm. I've listened to the talk by the Tengxun, this CEO,
okay,
Mr. Ma,
Hua Teng. Yeah.
Actually, I think this is really kind of a similar way of thinking. He said, as a leader and the CEO, has to look at the future. They are doing very well with WeChat. That they are thinking about what's next. He found out in the U.S. there's one platform called Snapchat. He and his, executive leaders play a little bit. This is really nothing. We shouldn't really invest. We shouldn't look into. We shouldn't follow, like they did for WeChat, for WhatsApp, or all this different software. But it turns out, in the U.S., like young boys from like 16, 15 to 20, is so popular. Then last year, I think the largest IPO on the market. The inventors in the Santa Monica Beach. Actually, my daughter made me to play a little bit.
So Snapchat.
Yeah, why? I think for our generation, when we look at a WeChat, we want to save it, we want to forward it, we want to digest it later. Even sometimes we don't look at it. But one thing for the Snapchat, you cannot save it. You just reflect your life for 20 seconds, you're gone. You share your life. I was thinking that is also similar, really compatible. Young people, they can do something crazy. They don't want to have the record. They just kind of they enjoy life, but they don't want to let everybody know, but they want their friends know. I think that's also reflects a little bit of cultural change. You think about that. That moment, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, they can express their own feeling, but not to the public. You cannot save it.
That is very dangerous to my take. That is very dangerous. That is very misleading. All right. Thank God they make it 20 seconds. You know what? Goldfish, they have only 5-second memories. So we have 15 more seconds to make, right? So now you're talking about, you're training a society, especially when in this case you're talking about young people who will be our future leaders. Among them some will be our future president of the United States, right? Some Albert Einsteins are in there. You want to train them, well, at least somebody will think twice. Somebody will think, not everybody is a momentum, right? So that's very dangerous. Right?
Yeah, I think it just reflects the culture and the current condition. It's so popular, I don't think they want to They want them privacy. They want to say something, don't share to everybody else.
All right.
Because share everybody else, there's a pressure and a social pressure.
Exactly.
Political correctness.
Exactly. Now, I am a writer myself. I'm a well-published writer myself. I have published in my lifetime 2 of major novels. Each of them is more of 420,000 words. This thick.
Big ones.
Two books, novels, not anything else. Novels, totally fiction novels, something like that. Right now, nowadays, okay, for quite a few years, I noticed. I didn't notice right away. I noticed by and by. Okay, now, when I see you talking about writing, oh yeah, you wrote that novel. As a matter of fact, they never heard that novel. They pretended they knew my work.
That's human nature.
And I was flattered. I become flattered. I said, wow, you know my book. Ah, of course, like that kind. Can I get one and autograph it for me? Oh, I said, okay, next time I'll do it. And I make a note myself, next time I see this guy, I bring a book, I autograph it and send it to him, to her. On the 3rd time, on the 4th time, we meet again. We never ever talk about book again, right? If he or she liked my book that much that he asked for a book, a free book for autograph, they would have at least a look at something, right?
Yeah.
Next day they come to me. They say, "Oh, Mr. White. Oh, that Mr. White in your book was funny."
Here's some
like
more
that.
concrete, comment, input.
A comment there.
Exactly.
Never once mentioned. Oh, till now I learned they did that just for courtesy.
Yeah.
Just to flatter you.
I think that's a human. Certain courtesy is okay, but if you expand that
Yes.
to the real life,
I feel like
that's too much.
I was fooled, right? I was taken advantage of. Now, later I found out, not only do people have no time to read this thick of your work stories, and for booklets like this, people tends no interest to look.
Yeah.
And now you look at the tweet, you look on your post,
Yes.
and the shorter the better.
Yeah.
The shorter the better.
Sexy headline.
Okay, now, I just can't convince myself. I still write. I write poems
Okay.
of 10, 12.
That's a little bit shorter.
Of 10, 12, 14 lines.
Yeah.
You know what I get? Thumbs.
Oh yeah.
I get 2 dozens of thumbs. That's it.
Okay.
Within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I dare say nobody even raise it. What a society. Where are we going? Dr. Wen, where are we going?
I think the society is going to move forward.
Nobody reads. Nobody cares. Everybody wants to express.
I kind of agree with you. This information kind of overwhelming. Basically, even overwhelming the data and information, people has less time to process. They don't think the way logically, really thoroughly, basically. Again, I think that's the pace, the society now. I think more short term, more non-patient. That is true.
Yes, people are so fed to snack. Everything snack. Food snack, culture snack, information snack, everything snack. Exactly to your Snapchat.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now, no more than 25 seconds whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, jokingly and luckily, goldfish has only 5 seconds. Now we have 15 or 20 seconds. We're lucky already. So that's a very, very, very sad situation, my dear friend. I'm so worried. And on the other hand, you see, this is how they write, right? Yesterday, I met with a friend from New York. This comma there, nobody tells why. Yesterday, I met a friend of mine, from New York. Can you tell why do we need a comma there? Okay, now, schools do not teach you the comma is redundant, if not unnecessary. Okay, your parents do not teach you, and you read around for people, they all write like that.
Very sure, yeah.
See?
Yeah. I think the cultural change. I don't think we can do too much, but again, we need a. We are not a social science, like I said. Clearly there's an evolution. There's a moving forward. Either misguided, misled by the commercial products, or by the life, by the the encouragement of a certain product or certain sense. Hopefully, humans smart enough, wisdom can really put more common sense, more decent thinking, can balance this sense. I don't think we can change much, but it got to be balanced.
I believe if you count from now till 10 or 15 years, not only nobody will recite William Shakespeare, will be quite a few people who know William Shakespeare was.
Yeah, actually, you're right. If you don't have time to have a sense to access the information or read the information, also look at the TV program. Also,
Oh yeah, that's a mess.
But one thing I really want to say is kind of the TV commercials are okay, but again, look at the TV program.
Talent shows.
I think there's some value, but I'm really think about when you see the police chasing on the freeway. I never think. You see, they can stop all the news. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours.
Do a chasing.
Everybody
which
knows.
leads to the death of this guy being chased.
But the sad thing is that the really climax they
can
cannot
they
show.
take a note of a license plate and get a guy next day?
But I think the people egos they want to watch it.
Culture wrong.
They want to watch
Culture
4 hours. They stop all the show. The funny thing is everybody know the end. Either they run out of gas or be killed or something.
Yeah.
But that
or
portion,
kill somebody else.
They cannot even show that portion. The climax they cannot show, but they still still watch it.
Okay. My dear audience, we are going too far on the left, extreme left, and it's leading nowhere. As a result, we see lots of consequences. It goes on and on and on and on. With me sharing the facts is my good friend, Dr. Jason Wan. And we are having some hard time to put those phenomena together to see how bad we are having the problems with all the fact. Now, stay with us. We'll be right back after this short moment, please. Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the discussion about going too far on the left, called the extreme left. That's why I named the show, the title of the show, Stop Being Extreme Left. Right? The extreme left, well, for a while, you may not pay attention to too much to it, but when it goes as a tendency, as a societal tendency, it is very, very dangerous. It will lead disasters such as in China, such as the Cultural Revolution, right? Where 20s of 30s of millions of people die. Okay, now we were talking about the car chase, right? What does it make? What significance does it make? Okay, now XYZ PD, right, chased a suspect on the XYZ freeway until the guy ran into a shop, killed 2 more, including himself. What sense does the story make?
But that is cover 3-4 hours coverage.
Yeah.
I think that we also have a responsibility.
And whose money? Taxpayers' money.
You see, the human ego, the people want to watch it. You know, does not make any sense.
Why
Still
people want to
it.
watch it? Because it's stimulating.
That's really, I think that's one thing I don't understand, because it's like all the station is not a government run. It is a private station. But again, they know the audience. People want to watch that. Yeah, they show it.
Yeah, they want to feed the
There's
audience.
no value at
they
all.
want
I think about
entertain
that,
the audience, make the
Exactly.
audience happy, because the audience wants to see it.
Exactly.
Okay, now, you know what catches eyes the most? The most spectacular to the eye, all right? The most nothingness to the inside. That is I guarantee, that is the win-win product to everybody.
So it's like a really stimulate your organ, like your sight, your hearing, your smell, just like that.
Doesn't have to have anything in it.
Yeah, just
For
very
example,
surface. Yeah.
For example, a dog put on stage. Guy says 1 + 1, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
2, right? 2 + 1, whoa, 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 3, like that. What sense does it make? What sense does it make? A smart dog, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think the human life, there needed some entertainment, but it's a little bit too much.
And it's called a talent show.
Yeah, I like your word, like
talent show.
extreme. Anything go extreme is not a good idea.
Yes.
Like you said, the
Extreme.
Cultural Revolution. I remember clearly, I don't know other family, I should pretty much the same. Their parents tell the kid at home is very different than they say in public.
Now,
they cannot do that.
give you a good example of how extreme left will kill you. Okay. Back then, when I was young, the Cultural Revolution broke. Okay. Everybody has a pin of mouse badge, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to the mouse badge here to express your love to Mao, your support to Mao, right? There is one kid. In order to express his love to the most extent to Mao, he pushed it to his flesh.
Oh yeah, I remember
Not on the shirt,
yeah.
on the chest, into the flesh. And nobody can stop him, because anybody trying to stop him doing so would expose himself or herself of having less love to Mao.
Yeah, that's extreme. I can tell, clearly. That's why the environment, the conditions say, hey.
So the guy was infected, and died of infection.
Wow. Yeah, I heard a similar story. Clearly,
Died of infection.
That's why the people push too extreme. That's what happened.
Anybody, for example, parents will say, "Stop that! That's stupid."
But they
You can't die from it, right?
They can.
They can't say it because they are exposing themselves
They dare to say in
of
front
less
public,
loving Mao, the devil Mao,
Yeah.
right? And the students, his friends, anybody could say, "Don't do it. That's foolish. That's stupid. You will die from it." No, they were afraid of exposing themselves of less love to the devil Mao,
Yeah.
right? So when the devil Mao was in control, though, the extreme left took the lead, the only lead nobody can doubt to the least sense.
Yeah.
And then the whole country follows. So we certainly do not want that to happen in the United States. I give you the example of
Glasses.
eyeglasses, right? So how about another one? Say, I create another law saying that to express my love to the Constitution of equality, right? Let's make a law. Everybody who has 6 fingers shall have the right of 5 fingers. All right? Dare you not sign the law? You have to sign it.
Yeah.
You can't say you go against it.
It's not necessary, but again, you're saying extremely left.
Even your criticism of not being necessary is wrong, because I see in my eye it is necessary to protect people with 6 fingers.
Yeah, I think that's back to the common sense.
Yeah.
Our life, we cannot have our mind, everything put everything in the book as a regulation or standard.
Yes, exactly.
That's
You're
the common
right.
sense.
You're right.
There's something.
Why we
unique.
call it extreme left? Because that's why it is extreme left,
Yeah.
right? I made it to the extreme way. Everybody has 6 fingers deserve the right, as if we have 5, right?
Yeah.
Now I push it to the most extreme extent that nobody can go against it.
You cannot challenge these things.
No,
Politically
I'm
correct,
challenging
yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
right? So everybody followed. Okay, so is the third bathroom, right?
Yeah.
So is the same-sex marriage. So is everything. So is everything. So now, how far, you tell me, how far away from here to the Cultural Revolution back in China? We're getting close.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more optimistic than you, but again, I think we need to back to you need to tell the truth. If something is wrong, if you tell yourself and tell the public quite different, something is wrong. You know, you gotta respect common sense. You cannot put a rule or regulation you don't like to the public to govern the society. That just does not, work. That's not right,
And there are politicians who make points by doing so, who made themselves popular by doing so.
True.
That's how they got their votes.
That's our problem with our society. I think one thing President Trump said, any new regulation, you put 1, you should remove 2.
You should remove 2.
But I don't think this
5
is
or 2. 5 or 2, right?
Scientifically may not be right, but again, there's a point because
yes, I like that.
Because we have a professional legislature, they are looking for a hard topic. I think they can say if they don't, for example, they stay 2 year, 4 year, in the cabinet or in the House or Senate. If they don't have any rule they propose or legislation, they're getting trouble. They're competing for who make more. But I think society comes, you gotta have enough. You don't need that many.
Last time when I was doing a show with my friend Marianne Maloney, she's from the CALA Association, California Against the Lawsuit Abuse. And we had statistics. If I recall right, the last year, the legislature of California made 865 new laws.
I think the one that proposed much more than that. Maybe
already
of course.
Signed, those are signing into laws.
I think it's only very small portion be signed become law. Less than 5%.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of our the small fish up North California,
Delta smelt.
Delta smell, right?
Yeah.
Delta smell.
Yeah.
Delta smell.
Yeah.
Right. So that is a law.
Yeah, that's clearly I think sometimes just too far. I was thinking, like you said,
you look at Ethiopia. How many humans are dying? Then the small fish like this, for which we sacrifice 50% of our water.
Yeah, it's more than 50% of one. But basically that's in the law. You have to follow the law. That's a good thing. I think it's a little bit too much to.
Yeah, that's the extreme left.
Exactly.
The extreme left. If you would do the same thing with the same efforts, look down as El Salvador, Ethiopia. There are human beings who dies every single minute more than our small fish.
I don't know. Did Donald Trump say put a common sense back? The common sense makes sense.
We're losing on that.
Yeah. Why is it common? Because people see the same value.
Yeah.
That's the common. Why is it not common?
You're right.
Those things put in the extreme is not common. If you use that to do the common thing, you are off the track. Basically, you need to put the common sense back. That's exactly I think.
Yeah.
We need to balance the view. We need to protect the environment. We need to protect the human being, but we need to balance it.
Dr. Wan, we're over time, but I still enjoy talking. I don't want to cut it off right away. What if I propose that the next time you, me, Dr. Wang, and other professionals, not necessarily in the social science.
We can have one social scientist, that's okay.
Sure,
yeah,
of course.
we can find people.
We put together a bigger show, a bigger discussion about this.
Sure.
We call for this thing to fight with the extreme left, to fight with the politically right. How about that?
Like a title, like what's wrong with the common sense?
Yeah, what's wrong with common sense?
That's probably a good
title.
title.
All right, good. What's wrong with common sense? Okay, next time. Thank you, my dear audiences. Thank you for watching. I believe you enjoyed the show. And to my friend, Dr. Wen, thank you very much for sharing. And thank you for the next show, for the creation. What's wrong with common sense?
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year.
All right, good.